Team?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you see it here where, and then it defines right here, what is this Pro-BNP? And it talks about the severity of heart failure. It's a trigger mark. It's something that they can see that if somebody has cardiac issues and might not know know it. I mean, there's going to be times when you're underwriting a case and you have a young individual that's healthy, and they only go to the doctor when they're sick. So it's very rare that they go to the doctor or anything, and then they'll go to apply for the insurance exam, and their glucose or their A1C level is highly elevated. And they've been walking around and they're borderline diabetic and don't even know it. I've had lots of insureds, they just ignore the symptoms, and until they apply for life insurance is when they find out. And, that it's amazing what some things, I've even had cases where cardiac, where there were trigger marks from EKGs and echoes, and he was not being followed up like he was supposed to be. And because, that he needed the insurance, so he was forced to have the follow-up done because we couldn't get an offer without the follow-up. There was no end resolution to how he's being treated. And because of that, because we basically forced him to go do it because he needed the insurance, potentially, how I look at it, because he's got a family and stuff, that we potentially could have saved his life. Who knows that, something could have happened to him the day or the week after. And actually what happened was when he went and had his follow-up, he actually had to have heart surgery. So when he came back and he was back out of the hospital and everything, I was one of the first people that he called. And he explained everything to me, and he thanked me left and right. And I just explained, I'm just doing my job. You're the one that applied for insurance. It was meant to be for you to apply for insurance. Otherwise the outcome might not have been so favorable. So, like the A1C, the blood that I'm telling you about, the pre-diabetic, you're going to have things like that. People don't know. That's where this Pro-BNP comes in. It's just a trigger mark, depending, like it says, the severity of heart failure. So, also during blood profiles and stuff like that. So I said, urine, they test for nicotine, which is huge, because the premium can triple. Blood, they're looking for drugs. Mostly try your liver function test, which could potentially, they always say your liver is shot if you drink a lot of alcohol. That could be one of the trigger marks. So, they go hand in hand with what's on the application. If the insured says he doesn't drink, he's never drank, and you have, you get an APS, medical records from his doctor, and you see notes in there where the doctor's telling him, you need to cut back on your drinking. You need to cut back on your drinking. You'll see it and see it and see it, and they don't listen and listen. And so remember when we talked about this, there's more places on the applications and things that they do to cross-reference. They don't just kind of trust what's on the application. There's things that they do behind the scenes just to make sure that you're telling, the utmost truth. So they all go hand in hand. So today we are going to order requirements and go over underwriting guidelines. So the first thing that I wanted to show you was, and I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, I worked for a big life insurance company for almost 7 years. It was First Colony Life Insurance, and they got acquired by GE Life. And imagine, I was there for 7 years, and I never knew that First Colony GE Life had underwriting guidelines. I didn't even know. Here I'm processing business for 7 years. We were never made part of that or anything. We were just basically doing the case management and didn't know any of the underwriting aspect of it. So, so let me see here. I want to find you guys the underwriting. All the carriers, they're pretty much the same. Once in a while, you'll have a carrier that will require an EKG. think they moved it on me.